Welcome to the Rum Revival. My name's Arminder. I'm drinking some rum, and I hope you are too. In this episode, we'll cover the latest and greatest rum releases in the US for the month of May. And there are a lot of releases to cover, so let's get into it. Let's start off with a number of releases from Maison Velier, an importer and bottler out of Europe. First up is Papalin Haiti. This is the second release in the Papalin line by Velier, which focuses on highlighting one country at a time by offering a blend of different rums and cane spirits from that country. This release focuses on Haiti and their native cane juice spirit, Clairins. It's a blend of 5 Haitian Clairins and rums, all aged 4 years. The Clairins in the blend include Sajus, Vaval, Casimir, and La Roche. The 5th edition is a cane juice rum from distillery de Port-au-Prince, the folks who make Providence rum. Those various spirits are aged in a number of different casks, and that includes ex-Caroni rum casks, ex-Mount Gay rum casks, ex-Buffalo Trace bourbon, ex-cognac. All of that is then blended together and then bottled. Now, it might seem like a whole chaotic, jumbled mess, but let me tell you, everything comes together and harmonizes so well. It's delicious. And I have a bottle here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Speaking of Clairins, the 2020 vintages of unaged Sajus, Vaval, and La Roche have slowly started making their way into the States. Now, the previous bottlings that we've had for a while now are from the 2018 harvest. Given that these are unaged, wild fermented cane juice spirits that are really these amazing field to bottle experiences, I think it'll be very interesting to do like a side-by-side comparison of say like a 2018 Sajus with the 2020. Now, given the terroir of it all, I'm expecting to see some variation in flavor and aroma. Now, how much variation, I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. Now, let's move on to some more limited releases from Maison Velier, starting with the newest releases from the Habitation Velier series. The whole series is about showcasing great pot still rums from around the world that are aged at their distillery of origin and then bottled at high or full proof with no additives. These latest releases are all Monymusk single cask releases made at the Clairins distillery in southeast Jamaica. The distillery makes a number of different rums, from lighter column rums to heavier pot still rums. Usually some of those rums are blended together when released under the Monymusk house brand, but here we've got 2 unblended heavier pot still rum marks. First up is Monymusk EMB 2014. The EMB denotes that it's a specific rum mark or recipe for a medium ester rum. And esters are essentially flavor and aroma compounds. And there are 2 different single cask releases for that mark, cask number 1 and cask number 2, both of which are aged 8 years at the distillery and then bottled at cask strength at 60% ABV. Now, the second in the series is Monymusk MMW 2015. The MMW stands for Monymusk Wedderburn. This particular mark has a longer fermentation time than the EMB, resulting in a higher ester rum. As with the EMB, there are 2 casks, number 818 and number 960, both of which are aged 7 years at the distillery and then bottled at cask strength at 59 and 60.5% ABV, respectively. Respectively. As all 4 bottles are from single casks, you're looking at like 230 to 300 bottles of each. So not a lot at all, really, if you think about it. So if you're interested and you can find it, just go out and buy it, because in a couple months they'll be gone. Next up, to celebrate their 5th anniversary, Maison and Velier have released their new Flag series. These are single cask releases of pretty old rums that are all branded on their labels with deconstructions of the flags of their respective countries. Now, all releases will be bottled at cask strength with no additives or filtration. The first release is Trinidad 2002. This is a column distilled molasses-based rum made from Trinidad Distilleries Limited. These are the folks that make Angostura. Now, it was aged 15 years in ex-bourbon casks in Trinidad and then aged 5 more years in Europe. Now, I don't think I've actually had anything from Trinidad that old, so I'm looking forward to giving it a try. The second release is the Guyana 1998. This was produced by Demerara Distillers Limited on their Port Morant pot still. It was aged 2 years in ex-bourbon barrels in Guyana and then aged 22 years in port casks in Europe. I will say this, anytime I see an old Port Morant rum like this, my mouth starts watering. If you're not familiar, the Port Morant still is legendary. It was made in 1732 out of green heartwood. The rums that come out of there are robust, heavy-bodied, and oily. Good stuff. Now, given the amount of aging for both, expect fairly high prices. I've seen the Guyana as low as $280, but I've also seen it as high as $400. So it's probably not for everyone, but if you like really old rums and you've got some money to burn, go for it. And with that, we've covered all of the newest Maison and Velier releases. Let's move on to some other brands. Next up, we have a single cane varietal release of Paranubes. If you're not familiar with the Noobs, you best get familiar. It's a cane juice spirit out of the state of Oaxaca in Mexico. It's made high up in the cloud forest of the Sierra Mixteca Mountains. The regular year-round Paranubes is a blend of 4 different varietals: Criolla, Dulce, Amarillo, and Morada. This particular release is 100% Cana Morada. Both releases are wild fermented and have strong vegetal notes. I've actually been drinking this fairly regularly over the last couple of days, and I gotta say, it's fantastic. The Morada gives you these really nice bell pepper, basil notes with like a spicy cinnamon finish. If you're new to rum, this might be a bit of a challenge, but if you're up for it, I think you'll be rewarded with a fantastic terroir-driven spirit. Then we've got Myrtle Bank Tiki Blend. This is a 100% pot still Jamaican rum aged 10 years in the UK. A couple things to note here. The blend was selected by Shannon Mustafer, a cocktail and rum author and educator. Shannon is like one of the coolest people I've met in the rum world, and she has a great cocktail book, Tiki, Modern Tropical Cocktails. Now the brand is named after the iconic Myrtle Bank Hotel in Jamaica. In the 1920s and 30s, it was like the cool hip place to be, and it was known for serving a very popular rum punch. Shannon selected the rums in this blend to pay homage to the types of Jamaican rums that would have been used in the cocktails served in the hotel. Pot still and full flavored. About a month ago, I had a chance to try the rum and some cocktails Shannon made with it. They were lovely. Shannon has a great palate when it comes to cocktails, and that great palate definitely translates to this blend. So if you're in the market for a Jamaican rum for mixing, keep an eye out for this one. And lastly, we're going to end on something that's not rum, just because I think it's kind of interesting. Bardstown Bourbon Company have released the latest in their collaborative series. This is a blend of whiskeys finished in Foursquare rum barrels from Barbados. The whiskey is a blend of 7-year-old rye and 17-year-old bourbon that's blended and then aged 23 months in Foursquare rum barrels. All the bourbon heads I know seem to be really digging it. I haven't had a whole lot of whiskeys finished in rum casks, though I have had plenty of the reverse, so I'm looking forward to getting my hands on this. And with that, those are all of our rum-related releases for the month of May. Have you had any of them? Any of them stand out? Let me know in the comments. Cheers.